In the death of 23-year-old Elijah McClain, all pleading not guilty, facing 32 counts, including manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. McClain's death made national headlines and drew outrage after he was confronted by police while walking home. Officers putting him in a chokehold, EMTs injecting him with ketamine. He stopped breathing and died 3 days later. The trials are set to begin in July. After Alec Baldwin, seen for the first time today after learning he will be charged with involuntary manslaughter after the deadly shooting on that movie set. Tonight, what his legal team is now saying, and here's Matt Rivers.
Tonight, Alec Baldwin seen for the first time since prosecutors in New Mexico announced he will be charged in the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust.
He had a duty as an actor to check that gun, check those projectiles, or have them checked in front of him.
Baldwin's attorney saying Alec, quote, relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges, and we will win. The fate of his Western film now seemingly unclear. But the New York Times reporting, according to an unnamed source of theirs, quote, as of Thursday, the movie was still on track to be completed, with Mr. Baldwin in the lead role, and Joel Souza, who was wounded in the shooting, returning as director.
Active duty U.S. Marines under arrest for their roles on January 6th. Police say all of them work in military intelligence, and yet authorities say they were inside the Capitol. What they're seen doing, one of them allegedly posting, "It's great to be part of history." Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Peter Thomas, now.
Tonight, 3 active duty U.S. Marines under arrest for illegally entering the Capitol on January 6th. According to prosecutors, image after image reveals Corporal Michael Coomer and Sergeants Joshua Abate and Dodge Dale Hellinan inside, one of them carrying a "Don't Tread on Me" flag. The FBI says this photo shows them placing a red MAGA hat on top of a statue in the rotunda. Investigators saying they were inside the building about 52 minutes. The feds say what tipped them off was Coomer himself, who allegedly posted pictures from the insurrection on Instagram. The caption reading, "Glad to be a part of history."
His daughter's dorm room at Sarah Lawrence College and manipulated and terrorized her friends is heading to prison for the next 6 decades. Larry Ray, sentenced for shocking crimes involving physical abuse, psychological torture, and sexual depravity. The judge called it sadism, pure and simple. Ray took over the lives of his daughter's classmates, using threats and violence. Recording much of it, prosecutors played it for the jury. Ray forced one young woman into a decade of prostitution, leaving her in abject desperation. The jury saw video of how he exerted control.
You know what's shocking, astounding, and disgusting? You do something wrong to someone else. You victimize somebody, and then you sit there and cry for yourself.
I didn't want to.
And I'm telling you, listen to me.
Daniel Levin told the court Ray hit him with a sledgehammer, held his tongue with pliers, and subjected him to sexual humiliation, saying he acted like a cult leader.
They very deliberately try to separate you from your family and your friends and your loved ones because that's your support network. He put me in a lot of situations that involved being sexual in ways that I wouldn't have chosen on my own.
Authorities say it all started when 25-year-old Ronald Ray Mosley, a former employee, walked into a break room where workers were meeting, told everyone to line up against a wall, and shot a woman in the face. Another worker escaping to call 911.
Shooter is currently shooting from the electronics area of Walmart.
When the shooter left the break room to chase another man, police say the worker who called 911 then heroically rushed back to the break room and got victims to safety by locking the door.
I have no doubt that he was going back to finish what he started, and we would probably have a dead victim today instead of one that's alive.
Court documents obtained by ABC News show that Mosley had exhibited violent behavior in that store before, allegedly attacking 4 co-workers last May. Just hours before last night's shooting, Mosley was in court to face battery charges in that case.
Investigating a major theft at a drive-in movie theater. The owners of the Blue Starlight Mini Urban Drive-In say someone broke into storage trailers and stole 80% of their equipment. So far, a donation page has raised more than $2,500 to help them pay for new stuff. The theater is also installing new security measures.
Deal caught on camera in the middle of a courtroom in Atlanta amid an appearance by the rapper Young Thug.
Young Thug's real name is Jeffrey Williams. Security video shows another man walking toward him from behind and reaching out his hand. Authorities say he passed Williams drugs in that interaction. Deputies stepped in after the encounter and took Percocet from Williams, who was at the table. Marijuana, tobacco, and other contraband wrapped in plastic were found on the other man. We have breaking news. An Effingham County judge has now granted a temporary restraining order for a group of people against the Illinois assault weapon ban. The lawsuit was filed by Tom DeVore, who was the Republican nominee for Illinois Attorney General last year. The suit is on behalf of citizens and a handful of businesses across 87 counties, which means only the 866 people who are part of that lawsuit are now exempt from the law.